And here we are.
Hey, Gosia.
Florida. Hugs from Orange County, Orange, city of Orange. We are here.
Orange.
And we have 6 beautiful people gathered up here.
There's 5 of us all together. There's a bed. Rose over there. So tonight we're here to talk about ease with entities. But I let the girls know if they have any questions, that it doesn't have to relate to entities. If they have questions about money, about creating money for classes, around anything that they're stuck around, that they can ask for facilitation around. It doesn't have to be directly related to entities.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and it's fun because we have Talk to the Entities intro tonight. So it was a little introduction to the introduction to Talk to the Entities.
Ooh, yeah.
And I don't know if you saw Candice, who organized all this here. She posted on my timeline this really great little cartoon, and I wonder if I can share it with you. Let me find it and I will share it with you because it's really great. Oh, you cannot minimize. All right, I cannot minimize, but I can share screen.
I'm trying to find my speakers. She's not doing speakers and they're not connecting up.
Finder. Oh, how do I do it?
Yeah, the Bluetooth is on. We were still.
Not do it. Huh. Okay, no, I can't. I don't know how to do it. No, delete. So it's a picture of a little child playing, and a little ghost comes up to the child and says, "Hey, can you see entities?" And the kid is like, "Yeah, I guess so." And then suddenly the whole room fills up with entities, and they're like, me, what about me? Hey, what's up? The kid is like, oh, they're really demanding, those ghosts, and this is how it is. So when you are aware of entities, you create this space that they are aware of, that you are aware of entities, and they come to you and they bug you and they push on you and they want to talk to you and they want you to help them, and so on and so on and so on. So okay guys, I think I will go somewhere else because is it okay do you want to be here, because this is okay, awesome. So
Gosia,
yeah,
what would you say, what happens when you're aware of entities and you don't, and so say, someone is aware of entities but they don't want to acknowledge they're aware of them? What does that end up showing up as?
Yes, great question. Thanks, Amy. 99%, probably 99.9% people, they're aware of entities. Severely aware of entities don't know that this is entities. And very, very common signs of unacknowledged entities awareness is depression, it's mood swings, it's paranoia, anger, sudden wave of fear, including severe cases, all the schizophrenic, bipolar people, multiple personality disorders, all kinds of mental disorders are actually connected. Unacknowledged awareness of entities, because these people just change, people with dementia, they have entities. People, it's just, your life gets really difficult and your life gets messy, and you're being the effect of something that you don't know you're being aware of. And this is problems. It just does. So once you're aware that you're aware of entities, your life can get easier. And you know what's going on with you. Why are you being so crazy? Why are you being so angry? Why are you being so paranoid? Why are you being so scared without any reason? It's just awareness of entities. They're everywhere around us. And there's way more entities around us than people with bodies. And people don't want to hear it. They don't like hearing it. They freak out. But it's just the way it is. If we like it.
Well, it's kind of crazy because I was, where was I today? I don't know. I was just out in public today. And I was looking around and I was like, wow, there's a lot of people on this planet. We're overpopulated on this planet. So I was just thinking, so now you're saying there's more entities than there is people. So that's a lot, together between people and entities, that's a lot of energy.
Exactly. So we're not only aware of what's going on in people's heads, we're aware of what's going on in universes, but all these entities surrounding us. So it's like not double whammy, it's like triple or quadruple whammy all the time.
Oh God, no wonder I don't like going outside.
I couldn't go anywhere before this information, before me knowing about what it is. I had really hard time going to the malls. I couldn't, like, if I went to the mall, I knew I would be like a zombie for the rest of the day. I'd be tired, depressed, and I couldn't do anything. So I stopped going shopping. I couldn't go to concerts. I couldn't go to churches. I couldn't go anywhere near, certain places with a lot of people. But where there's a lot of people, there's even more entities. So now it's like, okay, I'm just aware. We're driving on the freeway with a bunch of, bumper to bumper traffic, like 6 lanes in one direction. And I was driving with my friend. She's like, do you feel entities? I was like, yeah, look around. There's so many people. There's a bunch of entities everywhere. It's like, yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. I was just saying to Stephanie today, I was like, I should have went to the mall and gotten like a connection from the computers to put it up to the TV. But like, I just did not want to go into that shopping mall today. That's what happens. Like, I come out and I'm exhausted, and I'm just like, who does all this belong to?
Yeah, I promise that after next weekend, it will be easier for you.
Oh, thanks, Gosia.
Yeah. Well, now for me, it's so easy. Just like, I know you guys, you hear, step back. That's it.
Yeah.
They listen. They know they can't get me.
I've already started to use that step back too. The step back thing is helping a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have a question about it?
It hasn't formed itself yet.
Does anyone else? No? Okay.
You keep asking for it.
We'll keep going.
Yeah, no questions. Anybody from here have a question who will not stay tonight?
How many entities did it take to screw in a light bulb?
I wonder how many. Tell me. They can't do this. It's really, okay, it's possible for them to move material stuff, but it's hard for them. They have to use a lot of energy. Like people have paranormal activity in the house. It's actually not easy for entities to do that, but they can. They can. The persistent one, they can. Yeah, they can.
So, like, if you're saying, like you're saying, so like if you're, all of a sudden overcome by anger, overcome by tiredness, overcome by sadness, so do you automatically go to, is this like, just go to, is this an entity present, or do you go to, is there other questions you go to with that?
I used to use different questions, and now literally like 99.999% is entities. And I just ask, is this entities? Is my entities awareness? And it's always a yes. Especially the sudden waves of tiredness, it's when there's a massive, massive, massive presence of entities. This is when I get so tired, I can hardly keep my eyes open. And I used to go like, I need coffee, and I would run make coffee, but of course it didn't help. But at least like I believe that this is what I can do. But now I just clear them, or I have different ways of dealing with it, which is covered in the Talk to the Entities class, how to deal with the sudden changes. Mm-hmm.
And did you, when you first started doing this, did you feel like you were kind of crazy?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I can't believe I'm doing this. This is such a load of crap. This isn't going to work. And then it works, and you're like, oh my God, this doesn't work.
For me, it was even like, am I really aware of entities? Is this really what's going on? Is this really like...
Because your mind can't see it.
Because I can't see them, but I used to just perceive them, the presence. Now I can feel, like, literally I have like them touching me, and it feels like this, like somebody would touch me with, I don't know, with something gentle, like silk or something. Yeah. So it's touchable. It's there, but it's gentle. But it's sometimes it's like crawling on my legs, or just my shoulders, on my head, on my face. So because I asked them to make themselves more present to me, so I know like faster and better.
Yeah.
So they did.
I had them do that with my arm.
Yeah. It's
just
the
like
yeah.
Up and down.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, they will do this. So like when something like this is, don't jump in fear, like, oh, what's happening? It's like, is this an entity? Hi, I see you. Like if somebody tries to grab you and get your attention, ignoring them doesn't really work, right? If somebody's like, hey, and you're like, la, 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 that only more persistent and more, aggressive, because they just need to get your attention. But if you say, I see you, I perceive you, yeah, I know you here, and then you can ask questions. Do I clear this person? Do I talk to this person? Do I tell them to go away because maybe they're looking for someone and I can't help them? So questions will create ease with that.
More ease, yeah. So do you, in the 2-day entity class, do you go into because I've seen you do this thing at the class, just a picture of people doing it where you sit down opposite someone. So is that a whole getting to know, like, how it is for you, how entities communicate with your body?
Yeah, I always take pictures because it's so beautiful when they work with entities. So when you do just introductions, a general, concepts, and we'll explore general ideas about entities, the whole New World class covers in depth how to clear entities, how to communicate with entities, and we touch upon receiving from entities, because usually this is, most people are not ready for that yet, but sometimes there is space that opens up that people are ready to talk about receiving from entities, and then we'll go there, just depending on the group, just depending on the dynamics and the willingness to go further or more expansive. So when we do, when we start practicing communicating with entities, and there's a whole flow chart in a manual showing you exactly what can occur when you start communicating with entities. It's literally like,
oh my God,
so one page covers all the possible options of communication.
Oh, I love it.
It's so cool. It's so cool.
There's information I've been looking for.
It's like, and you literally ask, are you here for me or for somebody else? Are you from my family or not? Or are you this lifetime, not this lifetime? Are you male, woman, male or female? And you start, most people already know who they're dealing with. And then you can start communicating with them, looking at the chart. What case can it be? Or they're here to contribute to you, tell you something, or they're here to resolve some problem, or they're here to apologize, to ask for forgiveness. Maybe you did something to them and they can't move on before you have a closure with them because you keep feeling guilty about it. So it's this beautiful flow of communication. So people get together, pair them up, and they start asking and talking to those entities. So I haven't had a class yet, and I really facilitated now many talk to the entities classes, whole new world, where people could not do it. It's so amazing. There was only one lady, and this was really remarkable case. There was this older lady who came, and first time we did a little practice, she said, oh, nobody came to me. I was like, okay, well, maybe there's nobody who came to her, And then second time we did that, and she said, nobody wants to talk to me. Nobody came to me, but the energy was different. And it stopped. And I said, what's that? Okay, is this true that nobody came to you? Or you created such a wall of separation from receiving information from the beyond that they can't get through you? And she looked at me with these big eyes and started crying because it was a big yes. And it turns out her husband, who died some years ago, he's been trying to communicate with her. He wouldn't allow that. And the guy had this really detailed information about the family business. To
give to her
to do. And he gave her all these details. And then I did a class, the same place again, and one of the family members was there too, and he came again, give them further extractions about the family business. So it was so amazing, just the moment when I realized it's not that nobody came to her, she just locked herself off from that. So this was amazing, life-changing for her, absolutely life-changing for this lady.
I love that is included in the first class, because I think, and just from being around Access a while, I've been doing Access for about 4 years now, and I haven't taken the talk to the entity the 2-day in the a whole new world class I've done, and then I've done loads of intros. I was at Shannon's intro in Sweden a couple of years ago at my first 2 and 3. I've gotten the information in the foundation class about entities, and in Gary and Dane's class about entities, they give you information about it, and they give you lots of clearings, and they give you the tools to be able to deal with it on a basic level. And what you're showing me right now is that one thing for me was and I do have a capacity with entities and demons and all that energies, and what I've been doing over the years, I've been using it, but it's like, it's been tricking me up a bit because it's been so, like, even what you said, like, sometimes I'll just go into clearing the entity without even asking questions because I don't have that information that you're given in the class, which is all the other questions that may actually apply. You may not want to be cleared. It may want to give you information, or it may be for someone else, and that's one thing that I was really aware of lately. Like, Amy, there's so much more here that you need to know.
There is so much more, and there are specific entities. They only answer to like the names.
Yeah.
The names, so you can do as much clearing as you want. But if you don't call them by name, and we have all those names in the manual, like we talked about, they will not clear. Like smoke entities. If you just clear entities, they will not go. But it will say all the smoke entities in the room, you know, and you start clearing them through. And they're like suddenly, okay, that's as fast. Now we can't, you know, hide anymore. Yeah, there's so many different kinds of entities. They only answer to names. So like, this is not covered in foundation class.
It's not, and I'm so glad we're talking about this because I hear so many people like me who are like all these years doing access going, well, I have the tools already. I know how to clear entities. I don't need to take that class. And it's like, there's so much more.
There's so much. Yeah, I had the lady in my latest class in Canada who, she's advanced. She said, Gosia, I've been to 7 days. I've been to every possible class with Gary and Dane. I'm a seasoned access person. Said, I never had anything. Like the class is just like fine, easy. Like, yeah, it was great, awesome. She said, I could hardly stay awake. She had so many bodily like changes and releases. She it rocked her world. And she said, I never expected this from this class. Never. I was like, okay, I just get some new information. I could hardly sit straight there. It was flooring me. I saw her just like kind of fading, and because it's such an exercise in the massive awareness of entities.
Yeah.
They come, like every Dr. Entities class, there are millions of them, literally millions. When you start counting, it's millions. It's not thousands or hundreds. It's like 5 million up. So with, 10, 15, 20 bodies.
Yeah. But it's like we've been refusing it for so long as well. Like you said, we have this massive capacity with entities that we've been refusing.
Yes, and they're like, oh my gosh, look at this, what's going on? Come on, guys. And they come and go. And you clear one like batch, and another one comes in. It's like it doesn't end, but you have different groups coming. So it's so cool where we are. We can have groups of like soldiers that died in Atlanta. There was a bunch of soldiers from Civil War. And then in some places, there are Native Americans. Like in Arizona, there was gazillions of Native Americans. They were there to protect the land, and they were still fighting the war between themselves. So I was like, guys, this is over. You need to, unite to work on what you need to work, not fight among each other. And then some other places, there's more like earth spirits. And some other places, they're like slaves. And other places, there are... who else? Like there are different groups of people specific to the land, to the place. So you never know who will come, and they come in like layers and layers and layers and layers. And sometimes, when you clear a lot of just entities that came there for clearing or for some clarification, for communication, you have these beautiful groups of light beings that are there to contribute. And the energy completely changes. It like becomes so beautiful and light. It's amazing. Like the change of energy, immediate change of energy from like overwhelming tiredness that you hardly can open your mouth and keep your eyes open, to like you feel so energized and so happy and enthusiastic about life. It's like within minutes, everything changes. Really cool.
As you were talking on the last call that we did a call, for anyone listening to this call in the future, we did another call on entities, expanding your life with entities. And that was really good too. You gave a lot of information in that. And you talked about how the tiredness, how you would be like, get out or whatever, you'd be out doing your thing and you'd come home and all of a sudden you'd be hit with the tiredness and you thought, you needed your coffee. And I used to get that, like, this is pre-access, like years ago. I would be like busy, going, top of the world, like everything's great. And like, I'd be in town, I remember, and I'd go and I'd like walking down the street, and next thing all of a sudden, like this overwhelming tiredness, that's like you said, like a truck knocking me. It was like something was about about to knock me over. Like if someone, like I'd been knocked down by a bus, it was just like, I need to collapse right now here. So I started to, like, at the time I didn't have any of these tools, so I started to like go onto Google, and I started to conclude that I had gluten intolerances and that the gluten was making me tired. And then I stopped eating bread and eating sandwiches. And like I went into all this like wrongness and problem rather than, because I didn't have any of these tools, like, or any.
People can, yeah, I need to start exercising, yeah, cut out gluten, I need to do more greens, and maybe it's just one clearing away. Your energy is one clearing away.
Yeah, because if you look on Google, like everything like about gluten and wheat and all, dairy, side effects, tiredness, drowsiness.
Entities awareness. Well, what would it take one day to have that on Google? Like,
awareness. Are you aware?
You're just acutely aware. Chronic awareness of entities, not chronic depression.
The birds run.
Yeah, one day we're coming. 500 years.
Yeah.
So. I have a question from here.
Yeah. About sage and entities.
Oh, sage and entities. I love this question.
Oh, yeah.
Sage. Yeah. I was in some class. What was it? Somebody said, oh my gosh, I almost insulted the person, I think, because they said, I am saging the room. Was it at our last hangout? No, what? I don't remember. About, saging will help. And I was like, okay, are you making sage greater than you?
Yeah.
Are you making, herbs greater than you? Are you making crystals greater and more powerful than you? Like it can, it's all tradition. For me, it doesn't really work, because why entities will be scared of smoke, they or not. The same like people turn on the light at night for, when they feel something around them. It's like, yeah, they're not really scared of light. It's more for you because they are around even in the daylight on the beach. They're really not afraid of the sun. They're not vampires. But like if it makes you feel better with with the sage, I don't get that it really works, and if it is, it's temporary, because you just have to, if something comes to you for clearing, for help, and you try to smoke it out, it's not that kind either.
Another way, yeah. It's like the person coming to you for help, and you're like,
blowing them out of it. Blow smoke in your face.
Out of the room.
Sure, frankincense has them all laid.
Yeah, it's like frankincense. So like, really, do they have a sense of smell? Really, it smells like, oh, the smell. And I don't really get.
So an entity doesn't have a body, right?
They don't have a body, but they do carry from my experience, they do carry like the trauma from other lifetimes. So even like entities that died on drugs or alcohol or had some chronic diseases, they will have this energy with them, or cancer very often. They will that's why it makes us so tired, because it's their solidity, their definition of who they are, what they are, why they died, what happened to them in life. Because an entity is energy that is defined. So this is what I'm getting, like our awareness of their solidity and points of views and judgments, it's what affects us, what makes us tired. Because if they were just being space, like infinite beings, they wouldn't affect us in this way that would make us tired. It would be like, oh, what's this energy? But it wouldn't make us tired or angry or depressed. Yeah.
That's so cool. That's really good. But I guess they have a blueprint of all the memories and all the past lives and all that.
Yeah, they do. This is what we clear, energetic, magnetic imprinting. So it's like the blueprint of everyone and everything. We all have our own energetic blueprint, and it has to be clear too, because it comes with all this stuff. So when the entity has all this baggage from other lifetimes and they find a new body, jump into the new body, whether it's a baby or a bigger body, they download all of it right away. That's why when people have a lot of entities, they are usually not looking very healthy. They are not very healthy. They're not behaving very healthy, because they have all these baggages and all these issues from entities that are around them or in them. Yeah.
Great. Do you have a question, Stephanie? I think Stephanie has a question here.
Hi.
Hey, Stephanie.
Do you want to sit up and ask her? Yeah.
Can you get up? You can just ask, yeah.
Hi.
Hi, honey. How are you doing?
Okay, so my question is,
I've been aware of entities all my life, and I've been aware that I've been aware of them. And so when I was younger, I was very fearful of that whole situation, so I shut it out.
Yeah.
And then with the tools of access, the fear is gone. And now I have this like, I'm aware of like how many they are. And it's like, I have this like apathy at like, oh, do I really have to do this? Do I really have to facilitate here? And it's just like, no.
So much work.
Yes.
And it's so funny. I know sometimes, you know, we just have this gift and we're like, really, do I have to do this?
I know. Is this really my gift?
Yeah.
Is this really, that's the gift? Really?
Really?
Like, be born in the richest family in the city. Gift. Yeah. Yeah, it's the way it is. Like even Shannon O'Hara, who created all of these tools and entities, she does not like her gift. Like she did not want to. She tried to shut it off, shut it down. She tried everything, including drugs, alcohol, almost died, almost got, you know, locked up, or because she didn't want to deal with it. And they literally made her bring this information into the world. And once it was complete, because now it feels like the talk to the entities information is out
there, yeah.
Bugging her, she can create other things. But before she couldn't create other things in life, she literally had to do this. And she said, I never talk about entities. I never, like in private conversations at home, I never even address it. I don't want to go there. But she had to. Sometimes we have these gifts, like if you have this tremendous healing gift, do you want to suppress it and be sick and miserable, or you want to go for it? You know, so this will make your life easier. Remember, entities will contribute to your life. If you acknowledge them, if you include them in your life, they will contribute. They will make you money. They will make you like your life easier. They will open up the doors for you, possibilities without like, there's a difference between letting them contribute to you and making them greater than you and the source for creation of your life, because this is a big no-no. You don't want to do it. And many people do this, you know, with angels and with the guides and archangels and all of that. But you still want to be this main source of creating your life, but you can let them contribute to you, because if they're around you trying to get you to work with them, they're also willing to contribute to you and pay you for the services. So like what awarenesses are you refusing that you could be choosing, that if you chose it and opened up to this whole world of new possibilities, your life will change and would be filled with ease, joy, and glory. So anything that doesn't allow that, let's just turn and create it. Right and wrong, good and bad, fun, talk, all night, shirts, boys, and beyond. So how much fun could you have with this, Stephanie?
I wonder, because right now, like, I mean, all my life, my ears just ring.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, it's like, oh, I don't really know what silence really sounds like. There's always something ringing.
Yeah. So refuse it some more until it's unbearable, and then maybe you make a choice. How about that?
Again, it's like,
yeah.
What?
Yeah, they've been bugging you, and with people like you, it takes sometimes a while to clear, like I call it like the backlog or a build up, you know, when you like don't clean the house completely, or you like only vacuum in the middle, you have all this dust in the corners under the sofas, it's like this, so you have to clear all of that. So it takes sometimes, you know, a few hours, a few days, even a few weeks to like clear that build up. But once you do it, your life will be so much easier, honey. You will not have this apathy, you will not have this pressure. And if you do, you know exactly what to do. Like we talk about creating office hours or business hours with entities, how to talk to them, how to organize them. You have to organize them. You're the boss. You're the boss in all of that. You have a question?
Yeah, just tell them to stay out of your room too.
Yeah, you can, but you know, you can't push them away forever. They will come at some point. Yeah, exactly. So you schedule appointment, you schedule your office hours, and maybe at the beginning you have to do it every day. But then at some point, you do it once a week or whenever they come. You know, now I download them. It takes me seconds to clear massive amounts of entities. I don't do the office hours anymore. I don't have to, but I had to for a very long time. And I could never stay awake during them. I literally would pass out, like in whatever position I would be. It would knock me out for a very long time until I build the muscle. Now it's no problem. So sometimes it takes a while to build the muscle. Like when you go to the gym, you will not get a six for one visit. You have to practice a little bit more.
Okay. So yeah, because my office hours have been closed for like over a year.
And they're like banging on the doors. We have all these things for you, all these gifts for you, and you're like, nope.
Yeah, no. I've I had a body process done on me where I started actually seeing them and all the different kinds with my eyes.
What body process was that?
Terror, like the demon process, but I started seeing all kinds.
Yeah, the demon. Yeah, the demon process. That oh my gosh, what is it?
That's an organ.
That one.
Yeah.
But I saw all kinds. Like I saw rainbows, and I saw smoke, and I saw it was like snorkeling, but in real life.
It's amazing.
Like water beings too. And I'm like, okay, enough, and then they all went away.
That's well, yeah. You can be enough, or you can be, hi guys, thank you so much for being in my life.
Yeah.
What if they're like literally waiting to contribute to?
What's the demon?
The demon, it's the the elimination, dissipation of demon-infested organs. Elimination, eradication, and dissipation of the demon-infested organs. And you do it on
And
the
restoration of life-inducing possibilities.
yeah.
And restoration of life-inducing possibilities.
Oh, like life-inducing possibilities is what you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the process is the eradication, elimination of demon-infested organs, and restoration of life-inducing possibilities. It's a body process in the 3-day body class.
Yeah, but is it together? I learned it separately.
That's one process.
Oh, it is together. You're right. I just did it.
Yeah.
Demon elimination, eradication of demon-infested organs, and I haven't done it much. I didn't have to, but
Yeah. No, I teach it a bit, so I know the one.
Awesome.
But it's a really good one to run. Actually, I ran it on my client there for one session. Actually, I ran it on him for a couple of sessions because every time I would work on his body, client who would come to me twice a week, I would just want to fall asleep. It was like that knocked out energy again. So I kept doing the demon clearing, and then I did that body process on him twice. And during the process, it was like that knocked out energy again, where he was gone, and I was just like wanting to collapse as well. But the energy has changed now. So now when he comes for sessions, that knocked out energy isn't there anymore.
Awesome. Yeah, because some people, like I met people that had like literally demons in every cell of the body, like so much.
Yeah.
So much. And yeah, so body process can knock you out. Very intense.
Totally, yeah. So, and that was interesting what Stephanie talked about, because I remember I totally did not want to look at the entity stuff either when I first came to Access. It was just too out there for me. It was just like, no, like, and I remember at my first 2 and 3, Dane was like facilitating me, and like, I don't know, I guess he was facilitating me on something about my family, and he called me the entity girl. He goes, what are you, the entity girl for your full family? And I was like, no, I'm not going there. I want to be acknowledged for the entity stuff. That's not one of my talents. And Harvard Sue was like, he did talk to you about the entity thing, and I'm like, oh, that can't be one of my talents. No. But again, what Stephanie was saying, it was like almost like acknowledging it would mean then that we would have to do a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work at first. It is, but then your life like will open up to a completely different space. That's why the class is called A Whole New World.
A whole new world, yeah.
Over and over again, like a whole new world of possibilities that opens up for people that take this.
Yeah.
I keep getting testimonials and texts and messages like, oh my gosh, everything has changed in my life, and this showed up. Like, it's amazing. And not only their life changes, like everything around them changes, like the family changes, because they can finally like, oh, this is what's going on with my kids. This is what's going on with. I had a lady whose kid went into some seizures like literally day after the class, and she took him to emergency room. I was like, that was his awareness of entities, and now everything is acting up and he's ready to release all the stuff. And sure enough, the kid was fine the next day. There's nothing wrong with him. It was just like all these massive changes entities in his body. Yeah.
It's so cool. I know you have, I'm just going to check in because I know you have a class that you're doing soon.
Yes. Any other questions, guys?
Does anyone else do?
Candice, hi. Amy. Oh,
Yeah, that has the question. So
come. Candice came to say hi. We actually turn around in a moment. Yay. So there's more. There's more. Hi, guys.
So fun. Thank you for joining us. Or
thanks for joining us.
It's our host for today.
Yeah.
I was looking at your lamp. Did you want to come and ask a question about?
So, because you were talking
It's Yvette.
Can you hear her?
Yeah?
Here, I'll bring this up to her.
So you were saying about like your hearing. So when you hear like a dog whistle, like that high pitch frequency, that's an entity.
Well, that depends. Is it an entity for you or something else?
It depends. It's always different.
Yeah.
Always different.
Yeah, it can be entities and can be different frequencies. There's so many frequencies around us, and there's a lot of like military stuff frequencies, and some people can hear it, and they have, you know, problems with the hearing, with the ears, and it's they just being aware of different frequencies. They have capacity to hear different frequencies, and it's not a wrongness. There's nothing wrong with you. You just have to acknowledge, okay, what is it? You know, the 4 basic questions that can change anything. What is this? What can I do with this? Can I change it? If yes, how can I change it? So what is this? And if you don't get it, so is this an entity? Is this some frequency? Is this something being done to us? They're like, when you go to Washington, D.C., they're like machines shooting out frequencies that kill the psychic abilities. You know, Gary talked about it in the COP in D.C. You can't have psychic abilities there. They literally like kill it. So like, are you aware of all of that? It's being done, you know, to the people here. Yeah, how cool is that, honey? Just acknowledge that it's a capacity, and how can I use it to my advantage? How can this make me money? Play with it. It's not a wrongness, it's a gift.
Yeah, no, it's always different. But very recently, it was probably like I was in Key West doing an event, a spiritual event, and having dinner, and I was like, I've never heard it. This one was just loud. It was like I had to explain to somebody why I was holding my ear. I was like, yeah, it's kind of like a dog whistle. Like, you know, it's just.
They use it, actually, they use it. There's, the dog whistle, but also like, I heard of this. Oh yeah, in our church, we use this high frequency and only kids can hear it. Grown-ups cannot hear it, and it hurts the ears, so they shut up. They do this to the children, so they don't talk in church. They use it in churches. And when I heard this, like, really, you think it's cool? I think it's horrible. Yeah, so like, are you still having this range of hearing that goes beyond what most people can hear? And was something like this going on? Maybe it's now, you know, commercial use in restaurants too, so the kids are not going crazy, or I don't know. Or maybe some military training. And Key West is a very strange place when it comes to entities. Like, this is a whole different world, right? Key West has a lot of stuff going on.
So my next question is going to be kind of funny, but how about entities and weight loss?
Yes.
Anything to say about that?
Yeah, like how many of you are hosting, like building a bigger house for more members of the household. If you have a lot of entities, usually eat for them, you accommodate them, you create space for them.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be the case with gaining weight, but very often it is. And
Okay.
I think a lot, yeah. So are you, like, you know, accommodating them more, making them comfortable?
Well, sometimes I'm aware that I'm not clear. I do body work, and I'm not always clearing myself, but I have a capacity definitely to all of a sudden just gain weight.
Yeah.
And so that's my curiosity.
And could be like, okay, it just came to me, like if you have entity that had a point of view that I'm big or I'm fat, you know, do you hear that? Do you perceive this? And you create your body according to that.
Okay.
Your point of view will create your reality. So it could be that too. And it could be different each time. So we'll have to investigate a little further.
And that may be coming to class, so.
Awesome. Awesome.
She's working it out.
Would be so nice. Yeah, we can literally, because the class will, each each talk to the entities, like the whole New World class is different, even though we always cover the material. Always, it comes with 60 plus pages manual. We'll always cover the material, but also it comes with a lot of, like, some people want to go this direction. I had a class that was almost only about aliens. Another one went into more like God and religions and stuff like this. Another class will go more into bodies. Another class will go more into creation. Another, like, it's every class kind of has different flavor because of the people that gather up in the class. Yeah. And it's somehow they all work together. It's so amazing and miraculous at times, like really how these people got together, you know, and flew in from different places and different cities, and somehow it was like this beautiful co-creation of change.
Do you have anything else?
That's it.
Thanks, Gosia.
Thank you.
Do you have anything, Rose?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah, I don't think I just didn't have it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, like, I mean, I can hear them while, like, before I go to sleep. I can see, like, a shape. I could see angels, like, they show me themselves.
Yeah.
Like, I do Archangel Michael, but myself, like, clearing by myself, I'm not aware how to clear, so I just ask Archangel Michael to clear all. But sometimes I feel like they're around and I eat for them.
Did you hear that?
I hear on my throat chakra. Yeah. Like it's like clogs up. And then I say, okay, there's something around. I'm aware of it. I know they are aware of me. Like, they're aware that I'm aware of them. Yeah. But I ignore.
She ignores it.
Ignore, they were like, it's just not kind, right? They come to you and they like come to you for a reason. They don't come to you because they like accidentally found themselves in your space. They really come to you for something. And when you keep ignoring them, well, you can, but you can acknowledge it, that you have a talent and ability, and address it. And again, don't make anything or anyone greater than you. That's just what I would say. You know, like if you know how to clear it yourself, address it, or tell them to go away, find someone else, or you know, find a client with money in the hand to come to you and to pay for the session, and you clear them through the client, you know, if they're, you know, they need to communicate with someone or something. There was something you said at the beginning that something popped and I forgot what it was. What did you say at the beginning?
What we were talking about?
Yeah. There was something else that showed.
What Rose was saying? What Rose was saying, is it? Or me?
Rose.
She said at the start was about that she didn't know how to clear them.
Yeah.
And she uses Archangel to clear them.
I call Archangel Michael. I have like the application. I just turn it on at night because sometimes I get hard times to sleep. Oh,
at night. Yes, I know. Okay, so when they bug you at night, it's because you didn't handle them during the day. Because night is, you know, the calm time. You don't do anything. You relax, and then it's like they're like, now we can get her, you know, because she kept ignoring us all day long. So that's why they bug you. Like if you handle them during the day, they will stop coming at night.
So how can I do it? Because at my work, I know they're around, like by people, they are talking to me by people. Like, let's say I'm thinking about something and my colleague just chuckles or laughs, like it bothers me. I know they are like giving me a message, but I just ignore them. Because I don't know what to do during the day.
So you can use the clearings during the day. Yeah. She's asking what to do during the day. Like she doesn't know what to do.
Clear them. You just clear them. Use the clearing. Truth for you. Truth for you before that. 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 Truth for you in the future. Half of them at least will go, or more if you do this. You know, you can't like keep ignoring them. They will bug you. It's like the kid when it's like, mommy, 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 mommy. If you ignore the kid, like, will it go away? No, it will like, right? It's the same.
What did they want from? You know, like I get mad and I just stand up and go to the toilet and then come back and just I don't know what
she just gave you the clearing.
Yeah, but should we go back?
Do you want to give her the clearing again just so she has it?
So truth who are you, truth who are you before that, truth who are you before that, truth who are you before that, until the energy shifts. That's the clearing for entities. So they can have awareness that they were somebody else before, so they don't have to be stuck in their identity. And truth who will be in the future, and they're like, oh, I can be somebody else, and they leave. And this is usually enough to clear most entities. And sometimes you can say truth for your job, if they are entities with jobs. What was your job before that? What was your job before that? And a few times that, and what will your job be in the future? So that's the entities with jobs. And then you just like, thank you so much. Go take your magnetic imprinting and baggage and go. Right, wrong, that the proclamations, voice and beyonds. And there are different aspects and different things we can add that we talk about during the class. But this is the basic one. And if you perceive demons, the demon clearing is out there everywhere. Return to from whence you came, never to return to me, my body, this reality ever again. Do the demon clearing, or buy a demon clearing loop from Shannon, or you record it yourself, because they will bug you. It's like, it's just, if you have a talent, you can't keep ignoring the talent. It's a gift. It's the same like Stephanie. It's a gift. Acknowledge that it's a gift and can make your life easier, not more difficult. Now your life will be difficult if you don't acknowledge the gift and don't embrace it and don't use it. But when you embrace it, it's like, wow, your life will expand beyond your wildest imagination. And I promise you that. It always happens.
And Gosia, just to say to Rose that you are coming here next weekend, and you do have the 2-day class, but on the Saturday morning is the intro. So anyone who didn't want to come for the full 2 days, like, can come for the intro on the Saturday morning, right?
The introduction is the beginning of the class, so you have to come to the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's from 10
so
to
for anyone who just wants the basic information, then come for the intro class on Saturday morning, and at least they get some of the basic stuff.
Exactly, and we do a lot of clearings, and sometimes I go in the weirdest places in the intro, and it's only $75. You get the recording. It's it counts, you know, if you want to take Call New World with somebody else later on, or you can stay, you can choose to stay. Like, I had many people came to the intro and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to get this stuff, and they stayed. And then we take a break and you stay for the 2 days, or you go home. And so you have a choice, but it's such an amazing class. And I haven't seen changes occurring like this in any other classes. And I facilitated so many, hundreds of classes and foundations and different bars. I could not even count them anymore. And the changes that are occurring in Talk to the Entities, there's something magical about this class. It happens because you have to start trusting you, and you have to start trusting your abilities. And many other classes, you can still like sneak out of this, like pretend that you did, but you didn't. This one, like, you have to get there. That's really cool.
So looking forward to having you here, Gosia.
Boca Raton, I'm so happy. So happy to have you here. Yes, Boca Raton, and all 2 days, and then we'll go to the beach. And when do you get in? When do you I fly in on Thursday night, so Friday.
Oh, okay.
You can still do some little class Friday night. I don't know.
Yeah, we must talk about that. Yeah. Okay, love. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you've been in another class right now, right?
Yes.
So enjoy your other class.
I will say bye, guys. Bye. Orange County.
I love it. Orange County.
Bye. Guys. Hopefully see you next week. Bye, Amy. See you soon. Bye. Ending the meeting and everything.
Yeah, stop recording.